All right. Okay. So we've come to our last lesson, which is about the extrude tool for NURBS surface creation. It's on page 8 of lab 4. Let's have a look at it. Now I know I've already talked about the extrude tool. I've demonstrated it in the labs. I've done it in part 1. This is part 2, whereby we'll look at the extrude options, and there are some things that I need to note about it. So without further ado, let's go to Maya. Now the way it works is with the extrude tool, it always has to be, there must be a profile. So I'm gonna grab me a circle here. As you can see here, that's my circle. Right, and then I will actually grab my path. So I go to my create curve tool, CV curve tool, and I'll start to draw something down here, and I'll just draw that path like so. Press Q. I'll grab my circle here, rotate it 90 degrees, so I'll put negative 90 there. So now it's rotated 90 degrees. So what happens is you got to select the profile. Next is the path. So once you've selected those two, you go to surfaces and extrude. But I want you to look at the options here by clicking the square at the end. Okay, so the extrude options opens up, and I'll just reset the settings so we get the same thing on each other's Maya. I'll hit apply and see what happens. Once I hit apply, you see that basically what it does is it will run that profile along that curve that we've just created. And most of the times you're gonna get a good result like this. But there are times, which you'll see in a bit, that this doesn't seem to work. I'll show you. So let me just delete that and hide that maybe. I will go to my create curve tool, CV curve tool again, and I'm gonna draw in the middle because that's how it normally is. So I'm gonna simply draw that, and yeah, let's just do that. Okay, so that's my curve now, and I'll do the same thing. I'll select the profile, and then I will select the path. Same thing, same settings that we had before. Hit apply. Okay, you see something is a bit off here. I'm gonna press 4. You see that although they actually created the NURBS surface, they extruded that profile along that path, it doesn't really follow our path. It's a bit off there, as you can see here. So what's going on there? Okay, for that, let me just delete this guy. You'll notice that the way I drew earlier was that I didn't really put my vertices along that line there, so it's a bit off here at the start, if you notice. So it's going to kind of, go down a bit and go up, and that's why it's a bit off. Which is not to say that you need to make sure that you follow that straight grid line. No, that's not the idea. I mean, there's a workaround to this, and the way to do that, to fix this problem, is to select the profile. Again, I'm going to select the profile and the path. This time around, instead of leaving profile normal, checking profile normal, I'll choose path direction instead, and I'm going to hit apply, and you'll see that we have the same surface created. It's just now it's following our curve much better, so you can see that it's okay right down to the end. So that's the workaround if you seem to have this problem where the surface is not really following the path. Okay, so with that said, there are other options that you can tweak as well. For instance, you can rotate this guy, and there's many reasons why you want to do that. You can scale it up, for instance, so I can undo this. Maybe I'll scale it up to that big, and you'll see that as it extrudes, it scales up the size right down to the end. So you might want to do that, but the really important thing I want to highlight is that thing there, the orientation. If it doesn't show up correctly the first time, just go into the extrude options and choose path direction instead. Most of the time that will give you a proper extrusion. Okay, and that's about it. I don't want this video to go too long, and I hope you practice all the surface creation tools, because that's going to be helpful in completing lab assignment 2. See you in the next video. Bye.